Okay, folks, let's get this one happening. I don't know how this one's going to turn out. It doesn't look like it's going to be an easy one. We'll soon find out. If we can make this one turn up a treat. Well, it is from a treat, believe it or not. Okay, let's see what we have. We have here a Mars bar wrapper. Oh yes, Mars, yum, delicious. I don't typically have these because they're just too fattening. You know, having all this bloody sugar and fat and all the rest of it, and I can't afford to gain weight. I need to keep my weight at a constant, not go up, especially. I really hate gaining weight. It feels really uncomfortable. It's uncomfortable and it looks terrible. And I end up having to get a new wardrobe and I can't afford that with the cost of living and all that. I can't even go to an op shop anymore because it's too expensive. Everything's going up in price, like electricity. I have to ration my showers to once a week because I can't afford the hot water, and that's come up looking quite interesting. But basically, I really need to get in touch with my partner Luigi, and I'm trying to get this stuff to go to air on the 6 o'clock news, and it's really proven to be quite a challenge to do that, trying to get my work recognised and my being recognised as an actual artist. I'm disabled, so being disabled means I'm not going to earn much money, which is a real problem, but you know, what can you do? You know, you got to do what you got to do. You got to try and use your talent, use your ability, focus on what you can do, not what you can't do, and all that. So you have to fucking just focus on your talent, and this is what I'm doing here, is using my gift as a photocopier artist. I believe it is a gift. I believe it is something wonderful that I've actually got, that I want to shout to the world. So I'm trying to get it on Channel 9. And this has come up looking better, except I've lost some of the Mars. And that looks really good overall, but I lost some of the word Mars, which I didn't want. But basically I'm trying to get my stuff out there and recognised. It's really challenging. The art world is a real challenging world. It's not an easy one. It's by no means. It's very, very competitive. It's really competitive, folks. That's still not small enough because that's the A5 there. I'm trying to think. A4 to A3. Yeah. I think that should be right. So yeah, I'm trying to get my gift recognised so I can start making money, and I'm hoping to go off the disability support pension and leave my ADE job behind, and that's come up looking really nice. We've got the word Mars 3 times on the page, and that looks really good. I'm going to make this now into something more interesting. But yeah, I'm trying to get recognised as what I can do. I've got to focus on what I can do, not what I can't do. It'll drive me mad if I don't focus on my talent and what I can do, even though it seems that the TV channels don't care about my work. I just get the feeling they don't really give a shit. They're not playing my material, so you just get that impression that they don't fucking care. It's not newsy enough, it's not the usual D words, death, disease, disaster, and all the rest I've said so many times in the past. I don't want to repeat myself too often, because you know, if you've been watching my videos for a while, you'll hear me say death, disease, disaster, destruction, damage, and I said death. But basically, yeah, you just get sick of that shit that the news channels typically like to play. And yeah, you just get a bit, it's a bit like Groundhog Day. You switch on the TV, you hear the music of the news channel, or something to that effect. And you just get the feeling it's like Groundhog Day, because you're watching it and you're hoping your stuff will go to air. But then you know at the back of your head, how likely is it? And you just get really down on yourself. And I just get really down on myself. And get really annoyed that I don't see my material. And it's really challenging trying to just feel like something's happening, that something's going to happen, that I'm going to go to air eventually. And I get really, really anxious about the loneliness I get. I feel so lonely without my partner. I can't find Luigi unless this stuff goes to air. I have to find him because I'm lonely. And if you want to know something, folks, loneliness is deadly. It kills. It's not something you take lightly, folks. You know, it's okay to be alone, but when that aloneness becomes loneliness, that's got to be an alarm bell. But you can't always choose these days. These days you have no choice with things. You can't choose this, you can't choose that. It's like circumstances choose you. You don't choose them. You don't choose to be poor, you get poor. You know, and if you're rich, well, you must have found something. And it's just like a lottery. But I don't want to believe my life is like that. I don't want to believe my life is just a fucking dumb lottery, as however most people appear to think it is. It is something, you just have to find the right path. You have to find the right, take advantage of opportunities when they knock. But when they don't knock, you've got to make your own. You've got to make your own, folks. These days, it's not a case of opportunity knocks anymore. It's a case of, well, opportunity, the school of hard knocks is what we have. And that's the only knocking we get, is the fucking hard knocks. So we have to fucking somehow outwit this shit. We've got to outwit it, folks. We've got to somehow... I don't know if I like that yellow colour or if I should leave it like that. It looks nice enough. But basically, yeah, you just get so sick of the way the world just feels like it's become like a lottery. You know, you're lucky or you're unlucky, or you're more likely to be unlucky, because I know in a typical game of lottery, you know, you're more likely to lose, because it's a business, right? Gambling institutions are not benevolent societies. They're not charities. They're just a business, and the only way they make business is when heaps of people put their money into it, and then they keep losing. They lose more than they win, and the gambling institution or the lottery agent gets the money, and the lottery, of course, gets the lion's share. But basically, it's reliant on people losing, and sometimes it feels like life is a bit like a lottery, but we can't take that attitude. We've got to fucking fight it. We've got to fucking prove that to be incorrect. And I know what that's like to feel that way, folks. And that's come up looking really nice. I think we can now call this demo quits.